Hello Internet Land. So today's my lucky day. I'll be creating a local copy of my son's website. So I'll download a web server, and what I like to use for Windows is WAMP server. So go to wampserver.com, or you can click on the link below and I'll take you there as well. I'll leave it in the description. I'm running a 32-bit virtual machine right now, so I'll be getting a 32-bit version of the OS. I'll get both the older one, 2.5, and the 3.0 of the 32-bit. If you're running a 64-bit OS, make sure you get the 64-bit version. Okay, I'll download that, and then I'll see you back here shortly. Actually, while I'm here, before I say anything, you can also get a copy of WordPress. So easiest thing to do is to go to Google and type in download WordPress, and should be on the top of your list. Download WordPress. Get the latest. If you're running Windows, get the latest zip file. Recommended tar for some Linux OSs. So here we go. I'm going to download that and be back shortly. Okay, folks, I'm back, and we have WordPress and the WAMP server getting ready to install. So let's double click on it. I'm going to install the older version, the 2.5, and just to do some testing on it, and then I'll migrate over, or uninstall it and go with the 3 later on to do some more testing, just some benchmarking and see how it runs. So I'm just going to go through the standard default. This folder structure here will be the container for your web server. I'll keep it at the default, and I like to have a copy on my desktop as well. It's a quick launch icon, and I'll let that work its magic. I'll be back shortly. Okay, here I am. So just gonna again go with the defaults and do our lucky day. So looks like we're missing MSVCR110. So that looks like a Microsoft Visual C Redistributable 110.DLL. So we'll just hit OK. We'll hit OK. We'll hit Next, and we're gonna uncheck Launch WAMP server now. Uncheck that and just hit Finish. And what we want to do is we want to download Visual C++. Beautiful. So installing the Visual Studio 2012, the Visual C++ Redistributable for Visual Studio 2012 Update 4 seemed to solve that problem. So I'll make sure to put the issue we had and how that was resolved in the in the reference area down below. Next stage, what we're going to do is let's keep going. Actually, we had a little bit of time delay there. Next is a WordPress. So let's grab a copy of that WordPress and let's move it over to our location. So Right now our default location was the WAMP location. Now please note, your actual root folder for that will be your www folder, and within there I'm going to create the site, which is Lucky Kid 88, and there we are. And within Lucky Kid 88 I will place the WordPress file, and then I will uncompress it. There we go. Of time, and it's just growing with me. You don't have to do it. So what you want to do also, not having it within the WordPress folder, but I like to keep mine on the root, so I'll just cut this, and I'll actually you know what, for the sake of ease, I'll just delete the I'll just delete this. There you go. And then I'll just paste the files in there, and I'll just delete that folder now that it's gone. So you should be in the root of the site you wanna create. So the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna go to create our database, and we're gonna write. Well, you're gonna click on your WAMP server. You're gonna go up to PHP admin, and then you're gonna create a user. So I'm gonna create my user. Add a user, and the username is called Lucky Kid 88. You can call yours whatever you like, and I'm just gonna make it for localhost, and I'll make my password Lucky Kid 88. Lucky Kid 88. Confirm, and I'm gonna create a database with the exact same name, Lucky Kid 88. The database will be created, the user will be Lucky Kid 88, and the folder of course is Lucky Kid 88. So I'm going to hit global privileges. I want to check all of them because I want to make sure that has all the privileges just to get the site up and running, and then I can start weeding out the privileges on the actual user account depending as I go later on. So anyways, we'll continue going. User added, so you can flush the user, or you can actually restart all services. I like to just restart services just to be on the safe side, and it's back up and running again. Next, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go to localhost. There you go, right here, localhost. And when you go to localhost, you'll see that there is a folder called whatever your name of your project is, or whatever the name of your website is. It will be there. So I call this Lucky Kid 88, and I'm gonna click on that, and it should open up that folder with Lucky Kid 88, and within that folder there should be a file called index.php. So what I'll do is I'll type in Lucky Kid 88. The default should have already been there, but okay. Localhost / Lucky Kid 88 / index.php. Okay, so it's now launched. So before, it's saying the website didn't have a default, or didn't have a page loaded called index.php or default HTML or default HTML. They're all pages that should be a default load, but it didn't have that in the web server, and I'll have to go through that later on to figure it out why and upgrade it. But anyways, let's keep going. It's a good thing we're coming into some of these problems, so if you encounter it, you know what to do. The name of my database, of course, it was called Lucky Kid 88, and the username was the same, Lucky Kid Kid 88, and of course the password, we changed it up and made it the same, Lucky Kid 88. There you are. If you're running locally, it's going to be a local host, and your table prefix, it's just something unique that you want to have. If you're going to have multiple sites of the exact same thing like Lucky Kid 88, and I want to differentiate between the 2 sites or 3 sites or whatever the case is, I can use my table prefix so I know this one was for this one was for that, this is an older version, blah, blah, blah. Nevertheless, we'll keep going. We're going to run the install. I give the site a name, so I'm getting lucky with the Lucky Kid 88, and I'm going to continue. So username, you can make it anything you'd like it to be. I'll keep it as admin for right now, and then what you can do is you can make a nice little password for the site, and you're going to make it something complicated that no one else will know but you. Okay, so you can do that now. Okay, and because it's just a demo site, I'm going to confirm that I'm going to use a weak password. Just making sure that I can remember all the stuff that I'm doing, and we'll keep it going. And the email address, you want to make sure it's something that it can, you can receive mail at. So while I'm developing the site, I want to discourage search engines from using indexing on the site. If it's on a live site that you're developing out there and it's in the infancy stages, you're still developing, that's probably a great idea. That way no spiders, no crawlers can get out there and find information and get people to your site when it's not up and running. Okay, there you go. I'm not going to bother discouraging because this is local for me, so I'm going to keep that unchecked, and I'm just going to install WordPress and see what happens. Don't forget to cross your fingers. Didn't need to. Everything's good. So it's been installed. I can log in now. I'm going to log in to my admin, and I'm going to log in, see how lucky I get. Fantastic. So let me take a look at this.